Yo, what's good, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. It's Tyrants Bane. Welcome to the definition of anarchy, where today on what's good, whoever's in the chat, August 28th of 2021, of August 2021, on a Saturday. And yeah, I'm going to talk about a young woman who worked for the BBC. She was an announcer for the BBC network. She died from complications after getting the Astra Zeneca hokey pokey. Now, this is coming straight from the coroner. All right, this is not speculation. This is not, conspiracy theory. This is, sourced, very heavily. I'll put a link in the description from The Guardian and a couple of other people. And yeah, she died from the hokey pokey, complications from the hokey pokey, directly. This is what they said. And it's very sad. She was young, man. She was young, and I just don't understand. She was healthy, young, and all this stuff, and she got the hokey pokey three weeks ago, and due to complications directly from that, hey, she passed away. Now, what did it do? Well, it gave her blood clots. And I wanted to talk about this specifically because, especially in regards to the blood clots, because if you went and got the hokey pokey, there is a test you can take to see if you have blood clots. Okay? If you have micro blood clots, there's a test you can take. I suggest, and this is really for anybody, because so many people these days, their blood can clot so easily. They have high platelets, and of course the high platelets is what causes, the blood clots. It overclots, right, when there's bleeds and stuff, because you got micro tears and things like that inside your body going on all the time. And so, your blood will clot, but it won't overclot. Well, guess what? This thing right here, the Astra Zeneca hokey pokey, made her blood clot so much that it killed her. Okay. And I'm hearing a lot of things about blood clots after getting the hokey pokey. So if you got the hokey pokey, go get your blood clots checked. Okay. Go to the doctor. I forgot what the name of the test is, but it'll test your blood for clots. You want to make sure you're good. You want to make sure you ain't got deep vein thrombosis. You also want to check on that, because it's real in the field. You understand? They're putting things in your body that you might not pass away right away, but later on down the road, months or even years from now, because of these clots. Because clots can take a long time to go off in your body, right? Just like an aneurysm. It can take months or even years. You can have an aneurysm in your head for a long time, and then all of a sudden it pops. So same thing with blood clots. You got blood clots that can travel throughout your body. You know what I'm saying? Your lymphatic system has to be on point. Your circulatory system has to be on point. Get this stuff checked out, y'all. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just saying, go to your doctor to get that checked out. So I just wanted to point that out, man. Because they never talk about these things in mainstream media, and I'm surprised that The Guardian even talked about it. Okay, it's a mainstream media source, I think, but I think they're not left or right. I think they're more like in the middle. I think they're a moderate paper, but they spoke on the truth of it. They put the information out there. They didn't hem and haw. They didn't sugarcoat it. They said what it was. Okay, but they're not going to talk about this. All they're going to talk about is, oh, well, it's the chance of dying from the hokey pokey is 0.0002, right? 0.002 chance, 0.02% chance of death, right? Well, guess what? If you're not hokey pokey and you catch this thing that they're saying is the Modelo 19, your chance of death is 0.1%, right? across the whole spectrum. I'm not even gonna get into the age differences. Like if you're a young man like me, between your 30s and 50s or whatever, 60s, it's like you have a 99.9999% chance of survival. You know what I'm saying? People do die from these particular diseases they're calling, whatever they want to call these diseases. People are dying from them. People are dying from, the inflammation. They're dying from the bacteria in the lungs. That's what they're really dying from. These people aren't telling you, right? At first, it was the virus that was causing pneumonia. It was attaching to your ACE2 receptor in your lungs and doing all this, that, and the third. Come to find out, it's actually a bacterial infection that gives you the pneumonia, right? That actually kills you. And then as far as the inflammation in your organs, it's the inflammation. A lot of things can cause inflammation though, y'all. And you can be more susceptible to inflammation depending on what you're eating, depending on your blood circulation, your lymphatic system. All those things have to be on point. But I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me about it. Go talk to your doctor about it. Go talk to cardiologists. Go talk to these people, because these are the people that told me about it, right? People that specialize in this field. I get this information from them directly, and I'm just telling you what I'm being told by doctors. And the doctors I choose to go to, holistic doctors, naturopathic, right? They know their shit, but they're open-minded, and all this, that, and the third. I'm not going to tell people, oh, don't go get the hokey pokey, go get the hokey pokey. That's not for me to say. That's not for me to do. All I can do is give you the information. All I can do is tell you why I'm not going to get the hokey pokey. But I'm not going to say stupid shit like the idiot Lucas, right? Yeah, I'm bringing his dumb ass up, who tells people that they don't deserve to go to the hospital if they have a disease because they wouldn't take a certain treatment for that disease. Idiocy like that. I'm not going to be the type. I could say I can roast this woman, young and healthy, and going and getting the hokey pokey from it. I could do that, but I'm not going to do it because it's a human life that did not have to perish. She was manipulated and bought into it, and she went and got the hokey pokey. It happens. It happens, and she passed away. You know what I'm saying? She chose to put that in her body on her own accord, based on information that she felt like she could trust from the mainstream media, from certain people in the medical field, from the government, and she went out and got that thing. And she passed away directly from it, tied directly to it. So y'all can make y'all decision based on that. But what I'm not going to do is tell you, oh, you should be ostracized from society if you get the hokey pokey. Because I could say it. And guess what? There's grounds for saying some shit like that. If I wanted to be an asshole, right? There's a basis for saying shit like that. Because guess what? The people that get the hokey pokey are the ones that are creating these variants, according to certain certain medical research. Right? They're the ones creating these variants and all this other shit. And that's why, and then the more the time goes by, the less effective the hokey pokey is. Right? The more time goes by, the less effective it is, because guess what? You get the hokey, you get the Modelo 19, you have the hokey pokey. You might not even get symptoms right there. Right? Because you're protected. But then guess what it causes? It causes a freaking resistance. The virus picks up resistance and creates variants, according to certain medical people, certain medical research. That's why do you think the flu shot, they don't know which variant they're giving you the flu shot for year to year. They're just giving you one. Okay, here's a guess. But you don't know what strain you're going to get because there's so many mutations. You know what I'm saying? I could say because you got the hokey pokey, and you're contributing to these variants with these breakthrough cases, they call it. But they try to blame it on the organic people because the organic people are creating the variants. No. The people, this is from what I understand. Do your own research. Don't listen to what I say. For what I've researched, people who have natural immunity, their immunity is 6 to 9 times stronger than the immunity that you get from the hokey pokey. So I can say, what if we decided, oh well, you got the hokey pokey, now you're creating a danger to society, and you can't go here, you can't go there. Oh, you can't come in my. Oh, if you're vaccinated, you're a good guy. Vaccines are important. I had to do that for the algorithm. I slipped up. But I can say if you get the hokey pokey, you can't enter my business because I feel like you're gonna pass on a more dangerous strain of the Modelo 19. I can say that, but I'm not gonna do it because guess what? As long as you take care of yourself, you're healthy, you have a better chance of surviving whatever may come. And sometimes you won't. Sometimes you can be healthy as hell. You can be the healthiest person on earth. Blood work is good heart, and then all of a sudden, boom, you just drop dead. Your heart stops. It happens sometimes. And sometimes you can be super healthy. You can get a flu, and it takes you out. It happens. Or you can appear to be healthy, but they find out after you pass away, you had some underlying condition you didn't know about. That's what happens to a lot of these young people that they say are dying for the Modelo 19. They appear to be healthy, but when they got the Modelo 19, something came up that they didn't know existed, and it was there, and it contributed greatly to their death. And the funny thing is, there's so much they still don't know about this Modelo 19 that's floating around, right? This so-called virus that they're saying is going around and taking people out. It's so much they don't know about it. It's only been a year and a half, but they act like they know everything about it, and they know the best way to deal with it. They act like they know the best way, and they tell you, well, you know what? The hokey pokey, there's very little chance that you have adverse effects. No, there's a high chance that you get adverse effects from the hokey pokey. A high percentage. They say it's a low death percentage, but there's a high percentage of adverse effects, adverse side effects. Oh, this part of getting hokey pokeys. All hokey pokeys have that. Well, guess what? That's why I don't want any hokey pokey. Hello. Now you getting it? Because here's the thing. I know that if I get a hokey pokey, I know that there's a high chance that I'm going to have a side effect, and I know that there's a minor possibility that I could die. So why would I intentionally put something into my body that I have no idea what it's going to do when it gets in there? Why would I do that? As opposed to being careful when I'm outside, when I get around other people. Make sure I'm clean. Make sure I'm hygienic. Make sure I'm exercising. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I increase my chance of dying by putting a chemical cocktail into myself? Why would I do that? Why would I risk getting an enlarged heart? Because that's what happens in some young men that get the hokey pokey. Pericarditis, myocarditis. Why would I want to take that chance by getting something injected into me when I don't know that I'm going to survive it, or you're not going to have a bad reaction, or get skin lesions all over the place? Some people are getting skin lesions. The blood clots are so out of control, they're getting lesions all over their face. Come on. Why would I want to increase my chance by intentionally putting something in my body that could do that, as opposed to, well, people are sick. Oh, you coughing? Let me give you 5 feet. Let me give you 10 feet. You know what I'm saying? Now wearing a face flag, because that's not going to help. No. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, you're sick. Don't come to the house today. I'd rather do that. Oh, you coughing? Get out of my house. Or I go to work. You look a little sick. Why don't you go home and rest it up? You need to stay away from people. I'd rather do that. Not saying that I believe in, quarantining unless you're really sick. Like, just for your health, right? If you're really sick, go home. It's common courtesy. You understand what I'm saying? Why would I risk that? Because, see, I'm not going out and intentionally contracting Modelo 19. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not saying, I'd rather go get Modelo 19 than get the hokey pokey. No, I'm saying I'd rather not get the hokey pokey and not get Modelo 19. I can do both. By limiting my exposure to it, if I really believe it's as dangerous as they say it is, or as contagious, limiting my exposure to it and building up my immune system to help reinforce my immune system, be healthy, you know what I'm saying? Make sure I got all the proper nutrients, make sure I'm eating properly, make sure I'm exercising, moving, not overtraining. So it's not like, oh, I don't want to get the hokey pokey, I'm just going to get the Modelo 19 instead. No, it's not like that. But that's what they want you to think. Excuse me. If you don't get the hokey pokey, you're automatically saying that you want to go get the Modelo 19. That's what they're presenting it as. Oh, you're a danger. Oh, you didn't get the hokey pokey, well, you're a danger to me and my family. No, I'm not, because I don't have the Modelo 19. What? When I get Modelo 19, then you holler at me. Then you tell me that I'm a danger. But if you have the hokey pokey, how am I a danger to you? Oh, because you can still get the hokey pokey. Because you can still get Modelo 19 even if I have the hokey pokey. So now you done added another element of, You added another element of, by admitting to me, oh, well, you can still get it, you can still spread it if you have the hokey pokey. You'll just have, your symptoms will be heavily mitigated, or you won't suffer as many symptoms, or you'll fight it off better. But where's the proof of that? Where's the proof? Because if you haven't been hokey pokeyed, and Modelo 19 has been around for almost 2 years, that means you've managed to not get the Modelo 19 for almost 2 years, and the cases are going down, the deaths are going down, this, that, and the third is going down. But now that you have the hokey pokey, you think there's a higher chance of you getting Modelo 19 because when no one was hokey pokeyed, because the people that aren't hokey pokeyed can give it to you, even though when no one was able to get the hokey pokey, you still didn't get it. So now that you have the hokey pokey, you think that you have a greater chance of contracting Modelo 19 because people refuse to get hokey pokey. Can someone explain that logic to me? Can someone explain to me how people can more easily spread the Modelo 19 who aren't hokey pokey to people who are hokey pokey than when no one was hokey pokey? You're more afraid of catching Modelo 19 now that you're hokey pokey than before, because I didn't get hokey pokey. I'm just trying to explain it in different ways to see. I'm trying to convince myself that makes sense. But that's how they treat it. That's how they treat it. They treat it as though, now that we have 60% of the country hokey pokey, we have a greater chance of spikes. We're going to spike if we don't get it to 90%. So you're telling me that the spread of Modelo 19 can be worse now that 70% of the people in the country are hokey pokey because the 30% don't want to get make it make sense. How is it a spike? Shouldn't it be a downturn? Shouldn't it be a drop if these hokey pokeys are effective? I'm just trying to understand this, how things are working here. I'm just trying to understand how La La Land is working. Because I would think if so many people, because that's a lot of people, 60, almost 70% of the people in the country have the hokey pokey, I would think, hell, we're 75% safer now. We're 60% to 70% safer because so many people had the hokey pokey. We're that much safer now. But they make it look like you're 75% in greater danger of getting the hokey pokey because of the variance, right? Because of the variance. So that's how they try to make it make sense. Well, yeah, 70% of the people are hokey pokeyed, but you still have the variants that aren't as, the hokey pokey isn't as effective to those. But what's interesting to me is that, there really weren't that many variants coming out until the hokey pokey came around. They started administering the hokey pokey to people, and then these variants started coming. I mean, did y'all see how that lined up? I did. What's good? Jay with open eyes, determination is my name. Ridge Boy 214. Faith is me speaks. What's up? I still think it's a cover story for when they fire up the microwave Wi-Fi weapon. What do you think all this battle over oxygen is about? The frequency, once it goes to 60 gigs, people will drop. Yeah, yeah. Well, see, there's the thing about millimeter waves. They have to be targeted, right? They don't spread out like microwaves. They don't spread out like over, just the whole area. They have to be targeted, right? It's a directional weapon. So it's not like 4G where it just goes out in every direction at once. It has to be concentrated. It's a concentrated beam, essentially. And it has to target, it has to lock onto something for it to work. So let's say you have a 5G phone. It has to, the order for it to get to your phone has to attract it. It has to say, here, look at me. I want you to transmit 5G to me. I want you to transmit millimeter waves to me. So that's how it works. Like it just, or they have a dish and they can point it directly in a certain direction, right? But then, you would have to have a manual, somebody pointing it manually in a certain direction and all that. But I don't want people to be so super afraid of 5G because, even though it's a powerful weapon, it has to be directed. It has to be locked onto a target. So just don't get a 5G phone. Black Spring with Autumn was good. Derek C. Williams was good, Pippin. Virology 101. You never hokey pokey in the middle of a pandemic. Yes, exactly. And that's another thing, right? Because again, because it's spreading so far, because of the variants, it creates the variants. It creates an atmosphere to create variants. And so guess what? You got to get a booster here. You got to get a booster. You got to get a booster. Faith is me speaks says, people keep asking, well, what can we do? We were told not to have the spirit of fear, so we won't. Yeah, don't live in fear. That's what I was trying to tell you guys about the Taliban, right? They don't live in fear. And that's why they were able to take their country back so fast. That was probably a little bit of orchestrated, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of orchestration going on. The issues return Tyrants Bane. Check out the channel Montagraph. All right, I'll check it out. Jay with Open Eye says, we never approached anything like that before, whether people want to acknowledge it or not, which is automatically assuming unjabbed people has it, which is what they're doing by calling you a danger. Yeah, they're saying that because I didn't get the hokey pokey, I'm automatically a carrier of it. Like, get out of here. Darcy Williams says, now there's a new disease coming on the scene called Merrick's. I heard of Merrick's. What is that? You know what? I heard of Merrick's Clinic. You know? The guy from More Plates, More Dates, he has a clinic called Merrick's. Just, you know, completely off the topic. But yeah, so the bottom line is that use your brain, right? Use discernment to determine what you're going to believe. Do your research. Don't just believe what people are telling you. Don't believe what I'm telling you. Do your research. Look these things up. Do your due diligence, because it's at the end of the day, it's on you, right? If you listen to what I'm saying and you do some stupid shit, at the end of the day, it's not going to affect me. So make sure that you do your own due diligence. Use your brain. Use discernment. Don't just believe everything you see or read or hear. And that's just it. Go with your gut too. Use common sense. Does this make sense? Does that make sense? Like, some people are so irrational sometimes. Some people you were thinking your whole life that you've known them were such rational people. They had their head on straight. They knew what they were talking about. And then shit like this happens. The Modelo 19 comes out and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden they turn into nincompoops. They're freaking idiots. Like, people I thought were so smart and discerning and intelligent, after this happened, just turned into ditses, like just complete nincompoops. And I'm like, man, like, do some research, man. Look this up. Vet all, do your due diligence. I know what I do. Yeah. Faith is Me Speak says, use that brain meat. Exactly. My idea was to take simple glue and put it in water balloons and launch it from electric band launchers. The glue is mixed with the very small metal particles that reflect. Yeah, and it's easy to deflect. Millimeter waves are easy to repel. Like, it bounces off of like damn near everything. Hell, plant a tree in front of your house. If you don't want that stuff getting in your house, plant some trees. Get some Venetian blinds. The metal in the Venetian blinds. Good luck finding those, though. Good luck finding Venetian blinds. But little stuff like that, man. Don't get crazy and start putting Mylar sheets on the freaking windows. You're gonna start looking like you're gonna start looking crazy. Just get some Venetian blinds. The problem is people have no discernment. Exactly. There was no evidence, and they have to replace the reflectors because it fries the towers. Yeah. Marcy T, what's up? Much like all my sisters is dying. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Marcy T. I'll send some good energy her way. I'll send some positive energy out to the universe for her. Determination says, don't live in fear. Yeah, and I told y'all what fear does. That's fear. Fear can give you all the symptoms. Chronic fear. Okay, chronic fear and stress can give you all the symptoms Modelo 19 can. Just so you know. And it reduces your immune system, and that's how that bacteria gets in your lungs and get the messing with you. Anyway, I just thought I'd let y'all know that, give y'all that information. But I'm about to get off now. I got to get about to get some gas and get back on the road. I just wanted to give y'all that information. I'll put the link in the description once once this live stream renders. Yeah, man, just do the research. I mean, I couldn't believe it. They straight out said it. She died from complications of the Modelo 19 hokey pokey. I've never seen a headline like that since the hokey pokeys came out. All right, guys, much love, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.